From the Riffs!
Welcome to From the Riffs.
We're back with our in-depth look at the Rift's main book. This is part 3.
Yep. We're going to start with just the psychic powers. Again, real quick, this is basically how they work. There's inner strength points. It's the same thing that's used in all the Megaverse games. So basically, these inner strength points, ISP, you spend them a certain amount of points to use each power. You have powers that run the gambit of what they are, but they basically are divided down into 4 categories. So you have healing, physical, sensitive, and super. And your character, based on his OCC, will gain a certain number of the powers. Supers are the ones you really want. And I mean, they cover the gambit from everything from being able to paralyze someone at a range, to telekinesis, telepathy, pyrokinesis. That's basically it.
Yeah, essentially, it's a pretty large list of possibilities.
Yeah, and they're all given in the one book, so you don't have to have another book to get the full list of psychic powers. The next thing would be magic. Okay, the best, or I should say, the main point about magic is in Rifts there are lie lines. Lie lines are lines of energy that flow all around the world, and that energy is PPE, potential psychic energy. It's the Palladium Megaverse version of mana or anything like that.
Chi, etc.
Just like the way ISP is spent to cast psychic abilities, PPE is spent to cast magic. Now there are differences. PPE you can get from lie lines. You have your own personal PPE.
Yes, every living creature has PPE. For some reason, the expenditure of PPE, or there's more PPE, a creature expends more PPE at its death.
Yeah.
So you'll see as a recurring theme throughout the Megaverse and different Palladium lines that the death of certain creatures will cause a spike in PPE, yeah, which is an important thing to remember, especially in Rifts.
Yeah, because that's how the Rifts became. That's kind of the core and the starting of everything. But in the game, that also means that if your wizard sacrifices an animal, or if you're evil and you sacrifice a person, you can gain more PPE to use in your spells from doing that. In the spells, there are generally 15 levels of spells for your regular incantations. This book here has a huge selection. It's not quite all of them. There are more in the Book of Magic, but it covers basically all the best ones.
It definitely gives you everything you need to play
a
decent campaign. The Book of Magic will actually just it adds that extra flavor. It's the icing, it's not the cake.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through the equipment. I'm going to cheat and kind of flip through the book as I go here. The starting equipment is for the Coalition stuff. It has all kind of the old Coalition, the classic dead boy motif. So with the black skull faces. This book has the original Coalition Samus, the original Enforcer giant robot, the Spider Skull Walker, the large armored vehicle, the Coalition personnel transport, the Death Head transports, the original Fly Cycle. All that's in this book, along with things like the Skelebots and all the hand weapons you need for the Coalition. I'll make sure I put a bunch of pictures in here for that. I actually like this version of Coalition equipment better because it had that darker, more just evil look to it.
Yeah, everything does look very menacing. It does. It definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely does kind of evoke that
Nazi
dread,
stormtrooper.
that stormtrooper dread army.
Now in here they get newer, better equipment, but it goes to this fake skeleton stuff. It's okay. I mean, in the game, it's kick-ass, but I like the old look better. I like the original aesthetics of it better. Then we get into the common gear, the stuff we can get for all the players, because generally you're going to be playing against the Coalition, you're not going to be playing Coalition. There are a handful of vehicles, things like there's the Speedster Hover Cycle, there's a couple different motorcycles, the Highwayman and Waster, there's the Mountaineer ATV and the Big Boss ATV, which is my favorite. All your basic kind of entry-level body armors that you can get for your characters. as well as a variety of handguns. My favorite one in here is the NG Super Laser Pistol and Grenade Launcher, because it's cool because it's got this neat little grenade launcher on it. And then there's a small selection of power armor for the rest of the characters. Things like the Flying Titan power armor, that's a really good one. The various Titan giant robots, and that kind of sums up most of the equipment in the game. I mean, most of it's pretty cool. It has, for if you're going to start, it's nice because in the main book you don't need a separate equipment book.
Right.
But it's all very that Mad Max, wasteland feel.
It definitely does capture the post-apocalyptic aesthetic very well. Organized post-apocalyptic. The other thing that I think needs to be mentioned as far as the equipment is concerned is you'll notice everything kind of has a like a rough edge to it. Everything looks like it's built to be tough. There's not a lot of pristine items lying around, which again adds to the aesthetic.
In the further book, further down the line in some of the other world books and stuff, things do get a little prettier. But in the main book, it's really kind of gritty, down and dirty stuff. But then again, that's what gives it that flavor, that dark setting to it.
Indeed.
Then we have the skills. Basically, all characters have skills. Your skills run the gambit from being able to fix a car, or swim, or climb a mountain, or barter for goods.
Yes, essentially that's the beauty of the Palladium system of play. It allows you can perform just about any action. Your skills simply determine how good you are at that particular action. So, as Carmen stated, fixing a car, swimming, climbing, all these things any person can do. It's just that your skill level and the percentage of your skills allows you to do some things better, or better than others.
Yeah, it's a simple percentile system. So if your guy has a 54% to fix a car, then you roll 54 under 100 percentile dice, and you do the skill. Nice, straightforward, it's a clean system. Then we have the combat system itself, kind of the core of every role-playing game. Mm-hmm. This uses a D20, and no, it's not a D20 system game, it just uses a D20. There's basically a give and take in this game. When I throw a strike to hit you, he gets to roll to parry or dodge to defend himself, instead of just standing there and taking it like in other games.
It also makes it makes for a more engaging combat system.
Yeah, because there's a lot of give and go.
Yes.
It's divided down into rounds. Each minute is 15 seconds or a round, and that melee round, you can get a number of attacks. You may have a few attacks, or you could be a juicer who has just oodles. That also adds to the flavor of the characters. What's left? We need to talk about the game book, the construction of the book.
Oh, absolutely. As you can see, the construction of the book, it's a hardcover book. It's a beautiful book. It's definitely got some great heft to it. It's reasonably priced, although we won't get into specifics here. And you have these gorgeous full-color painted pages. I think there's 24 pages.
24 inserts, yeah.
So it's definitely more bang for your buck. And of course, that standard black and white Palladium art, which is always highlighted in the rest of the Palladium lines. So hopefully we've given you a nice in-depth look at what to expect out of Rifts. And we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoy the game. And we'll see you next time.